Hi there! I'm so happy you've joined us for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Coming up in this half-hour journey, important information you need to know about COVID-19, including tips to avoid being overwhelmed by the fears and risks of the disease. Sit back and relax for these, plus other interesting features that will help you boost your immune system and general health using the foods you eat.
What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19? Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
My fellow Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora, for the past 2 weeks our nation has been gripped by fear, panic, and uncertainty as the dreaded COVID-19 virus reached our shores. I am using this opportunity to speak to you, not only as your Governor General, but as a husband, father, brother, friend, and concerned citizen. Firstly, I thank the Most Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Health and Wellness and their team for the leadership and management of this crisis so far. Their swift response contained the rapid spread of the disease in Jamaica. We recognize that this virus has no regard for religion, culture, occupation, or financial status. It affects all strata of our society. Let us not panic. Rather, let us be vigilant and support each other even when we cannot hug. Because the virus has affected every continent, the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic on Wednesday, March 11, 2020. We hear the struggles of healthcare workers, the need for personal protective equipment such as masks, gloves, ventilators, and hospital beds. People are dying and the infection rate increases daily. As of March 24, 2020, in Jamaica, we have 25 confirmed COVID cases and 1 death. The spread of this disease is crippling business, closing borders, and keeping billions of people confined at home around the world. We have never experienced anything like this in our lifetime. We have enacted social distancing and have come to value certain household items we once took for granted. Our tourist industry is badly affected. Many are now out of jobs. There are disruptions in production, in the supply chain, which are having and will have negative impact financially. The economic gains which the country has made over the past years will be compromised. It is critically important that everyone listens to the updates from the Most Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Health and Wellness and their team. The directives given are to be followed by everyone. We have to adjust our lives to save ourselves from being infected by this deadly virus and infecting others. Our history has shown that when we come together as one, we achieve great results. Let's do it again. Now more than ever, we must mean all of us. I join the government in asking everyone to take the necessary precautions in your personal hygiene. Please demonstrate at all times respect for the orders, especially those which apply to gatherings. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home to stop the spread of the virus. Families now have the opportunity to spend more time together and forge closer bonds. They can read, do puzzles, play, and pray. Tell your children stories of your childhood and their heritage. I want to thank our doctors, nurses, ancillary staff, pharmacists, respiratory therapists, ambulance drivers, x-ray technicians, volunteers, and everyone in the healthcare system. You are on the forefront daily to take care of our sick. May you and your family be protected from this deadly virus. I thank members of the private sector and individuals who have pledged to help the government combat this crisis and provide the necessary support. We thank the Cuban government for the cadre of healthcare professionals who have come to assist us in our moment of need. We thank the members of the security forces who selflessly work on the front lines every day to ensure the safety of our citizens. I commend our teachers who are conducting classes via the various information and communication technology platforms. Your commitment is greatly appreciated. Despite the stressors, some parents are rising to the challenge to homeschool their children. My fellow Jamaicans, do not panic and despair if your family or community members show symptoms of the COVID-19 virus. Please follow the guidelines that the government has issued and get medical help for them immediately. Be positive at all times and report instances of hoarding or price gouging. Be your brother's keeper. Mark Twain said, "Kindness is the language the blind can see and the deaf can hear." Do not discriminate against our healthcare workers. Support them in every way you can. Now is the time for unity, not hostility. Unfortunately, the situation may get worse before it gets better. Be prepared, be positive, and be patient as we ride out this storm. We are a smart and gifted people who believe in ourselves. So let us use the best about us to fix what is wrong with us. Let us pray for the healing and comfort of those affected by the COVID-19 virus. Let us pray for those who take care of the sick and those who are worried that God Almighty will be their protection, strength, and rest. He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of boldness and discipline. And finally, let us wrap ourselves in the fabric of our nation and fight for its survival. God bless you all, keep you safe, and bless Jamaica, land we love.
So 26 confirmed positives. Of this 26, 17 are imported cases, 8 are import-related cases, and 1 is still under investigation. The new case is a 70-year-old male from Clarendon who is a son-in-law of the one person who was deceased from COVID-19 to date here in Jamaica. In terms of testing, we have now tested 150 samples. 26, of course, would have tested positive. 124 tested negative. 18 results are currently pending. In the meantime, 17 persons are under quarantine in a government facility. 142 are under quarantine at home, and 254 have been released. These, of course, do not include the quarantining arrangements at 7 to 8 miles Bull Bay and Cornpeace settlement.
Up to present date, we have received so far materials to do about 3,000 tests from PAHO. In the event of a spike, our testing methodology changes, and this will With the reagents that we presently have, it will allow us to double the number of tests that we are able to do. In either case, we therefore have 2 months' supply of testing material. We have requested from PAHO additional kits that we will receive within that time. In addition to this, the Minister of Health and Wellness is exploring the use of rapid test kits. So within the next few days, we expect that we will come to a consensus on the types of kits that we will use for these rapid tests and the protocol that we will use to conduct these tests. But in the meantime, I want to reassure the public that we do have enough test kits in place to conduct this surveillance as well as the testing of persons that are suspected cases.
We have taken a decision that in the coming weeks, we are going to engage the private sector under a public-private partnership arrangement, PPP, to outsource some of the services that are currently being carried out in our public health institutions, our hospitals in particular. We have decided to, under this arrangement, take out 2 highly vulnerable groups, persons who have chronic hypertension and persons who are diabetic. And the idea here is to outsource those 2 sessional visits by this population to private practitioners who will see them once or twice per month. And we want to do this for approximately 4 months in the first instance. We anticipate that this will cost us some $350 million over that period of time. In terms of the community quarantining arrangements, I just want to raise with the public that the Bull Bay 7 and 8 mile arrangement, based on the clinical assessment of when it started and the time required to complete this process, in other words, to discontinue the quarantine arrangements in Bull Bay, the decision has been taken to complete that arrangement on Saturday, the 28th of March. And so to the residents, to the citizens of Bull Bay, we ask for their patience until end of day Friday, at which point we will resume normality in that community. And again, that demonstrates that what we're doing, we think, is correct. We continue to carry out the necessary surveillance. And again, I extend our appreciation to the residents of that community and ask for their patience as we seek to manage this process. As we discover these additional cases, it's important for us to appreciate as a country that these are expected under the existing circumstances. And I don't want the Jamaican people to lose hope or to feel that we are not making progress even with each positive case that is identified. We are doing well under the circumstances when compared to other jurisdictions, and I want to commend the health team for the work that they're doing, and the government for the support, and all of Jamaica, frankly speaking. However, community spread should not allow us to panic, even though we are likely to see a lot more cases. What it should do is to allow us to be more concerned, yes, and to take the necessary precaution to manage through to its completion as quickly as possible. In other words, to flatten the curve.
The strategy to prevent the wholesale spread of the highly contagious COVID-19 involves following stringent yet simple hygiene practices, which we often neglect. What we can't ignore is the heavy volume of information. Some of it false and frightening, can lead to unnecessary fears that put a strain on our psyches and may overwhelm us. Here are some tips to avoid all that.
It is normal to feel sad, stressed, confused, scared, or overwhelmed during a crisis such as that caused from the COVID-19 pandemic. But there's no need to. For one, we must first inform ourselves about this disease through reliable sources to determine our risk and precautions to take. This can go a far way in calming our fears and ensuring our safety. Keeping in touch with family and friends and talking to people you trust, even as we practice social distancing, can help prevent panicking and keep you in good spirits. If you must stay at home during this period, try to maintain a healthy lifestyle of proper diet, adequate sleep, and regular exercise. Don't use smoking, alcohol, or other drugs to deal with your emotions. If you feel overwhelmed, talk to someone about it, a healthcare provider or counselor that you can call. Ensure that you're fully engaged in something constructive to occupy your time. An arrangement with your employer to work from home where possible is good in helping to keep up normal daily routines. Limit the time you and your family spend watching, listening, or in conversations about COVID-19 that you perceive as scary or upsetting to avoid being overwhelmed. Make sure you are in the know generally, but try to engage more in other things or change the topic of your conversations to things you enjoy talking about. Draw on the skills that have helped you manage previous adversities. It's important to try to maintain some sort of daily agenda so that the days are not wasted and you'll feel more accomplished. Focus on activities that make you feel happy, like reading a book, watching your favorite show, playing video games with your family, or telling stories. Do some gardening or chores around the home too. Children too need to be provided with the information to help them understand the risks without becoming scared and confused. Use age-appropriate language to teach them about hand washing, cough and sneezing etiquette, and social distancing. It's also important to reassure them about what could happen if they start feeling sick and may have to go to the hospital so doctors can help them feel better. In the meantime, ensure their learning continues even as schools are out. And give them extra time and attention. Listen, speak kindly, comfort them, and of course, make time to play. When it comes to easing fear and anxiety around COVID-19, just consider that once we do what's necessary to protect ourselves and prevent spread, we should be well. If we do get sick, rest assured our doctors are trained to manage the illness and help us recover. And yes, while we maintain proper cough etiquette, cover our noses when we sneeze, and practice social distancing, we must treat each other with care and respect. Don't be startled by every cough or sneeze. Remember, not everyone who does has the virus. Take care of yourself, support others, don't panic.
Apart, but still in it together. United, though not physically. Welcome to the period of social distancing, an important method to contain transmission of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. Social distancing keeps people from interacting closely or frequently enough to spread an infectious disease. Social distancing involves minimizing contact with people and maintaining a distance of at least 1 meter or 3 feet between you and others. It also extends to avoiding public transportation as much as possible, limiting non-essential overseas travel, working from home, and skipping public gatherings.
For persons who are particularly sociable, really you should keep down the group meetings. I know it's difficult, but please. And at a time when persons are visiting or so, the hugging and the kissing, no. As much as possible, just cut that out until COVID is gone.
Locally, schools and other gathering places such as bars, nightclubs, and similar areas of entertainment have been ordered closed. A number of large events such as sporting activities have also been cancelled. Even if persons must gather, then the social distance rule of 1 meter must be adhered to. Also, no more than 10 persons are allowed to congregate within the same space at a time. Markets, supermarkets, corner shops, restaurants, and cook shops, which remain open, should at all times do so with a limited number of persons.
Gatherings in any place shall not exceed 10 persons. And this one has to be strictly enforced.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC is also subjected to the policy and is permitted to carry seated passengers only. Likewise, taxi operators are required to carry one less passenger than they are licensed to. Social distancing is a tested and proven method to limit the spread of a virus. This strategy saved thousands of lives during both the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 and in Mexico City during the 2009 flu pandemic.
What we are trying to do is to institute the measures that we believe will inure to greater practice of social distancing, which is what is now being recommended as the most effective way of controlling the spread of COVID-19.
Please note, it is okay to go outdoors, particularly around your yard space if you do have one. Being close to the garden is especially recommended for seniors who may need to maintain exercise of the limbs. The point is not to remain indoors, but to avoid being in close contact with others. When you do leave your home, wipe down any surfaces you come in contact with, avoid touching your face, and frequently wash your hands. Here are some tips to help you maintain social distancing. When you go grocery shopping, buy as much as you can at a time to minimize the number of trips. In addition, select a time when the store is least likely to be crowded. Avoid dining out. You may opt for takeout or delivery service. If you must take public transport, do so during the off-peak hours and avoid taking vehicles that are full. At work, implement the remote work or staff rotation policy to decrease the number of persons within the same space at a time. Also consider virtual meetings.
In some places we've seen pictures where they're conducting a meeting and they have the chairs, they have the space marked out for the chairs, so they have a little square on the floor and they're separated.
Delay trips to crowded venues like the park or malls. The best mechanism to ward off COVID-19 and other contagious viruses is to stay home. If you must venture out, practice social distancing. In addition, take a hand sanitizer with you and use it after touching surfaces and door handles.
Some persons are not comfortable with hand sanitizer, so I'm here to tell you that the hand sanitizer is just as good as soap and water. If you can get hand sanitizer, make sure you check it to see the percentage of alcohol. It shouldn't be less than 60% alcohol. We recommend 70, but sometimes it's hard to find the 70%. So if you see the hand sanitizer and it has 60% alcohol, that can work. If you can't see the concentration of alcohol, do not buy that hand sanitizer.
Eating well-balanced meals ensures that we get all the essential nutrients the body needs for growth, proper function, and good health. What are these essential nutrients, and where can you find them? The answers are all in this next feature.
Eating healthy by having a balanced diet consisting of items from all the food groups and consuming the right portions is important to get the nutrients vital for disease prevention, growth, and good health. Essential nutrients are building blocks for the cells that make up the body, from bone to muscle, skin, and hair. One of the most critical ones is protein, which is made up of different amino acids, some of which the body can make on its own. We need a variety of proteins to function properly, many of which can only come from the foods we eat. Meats, fish, and eggs are essential sources from animals, while plant sources include beans, nuts, and some grains. How much protein you need daily depends on a variety of factors, including how active you are and your age. Carbohydrates are the main nutrients for fueling the body's energy needs, especially our central nervous system and brain. They help protect against diseases, but some carbohydrates are healthier than others. Some healthy sources include your fresh produce, such as yam, banana, breadfruit, and tubers, as well as whole grains, fiber-rich vegetables, and fruits. Less healthy sources include refined grains and products with added sugar. Fats often get a bad rap, but it's important to know that healthy fats are essential to our body's function. Fats aid in vitamin and mineral absorption, blood clotting, building cells, and muscle movement. Fats are high in calories, which is a measure of energy from foods, but the World Health Organization recommends keeping daily calorie intake from fat at under 30%. Including healthy fats, which are the unsaturated fats in your diet, can help balance blood sugar, decrease the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and improve brain function. Healthy fats are also powerful anti-inflammatories and can lower the risk for arthritis, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Some of the well-known unsaturated fats are the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Sources of these healthy fats include fish, seeds, nuts, and vegetable oils, olive, avocado, and flax seeds. Trans fats are to be avoided, and we should also limit our intake of saturated fats, of which the main sources are animal-based and include butter, cheese, red meat, and ice cream. Vitamins are organic compounds essential for normal growth and are required in small quantities. There are 13 essential vitamins that the body needs, and these help lower the risk of diseases such as lung and prostate cancer. Vitamin A supports healthy vision, skin, and bones. Powerful antioxidants like vitamin C boost the immune system and helps the body heal. Eating a varied and well-balanced diet of fruits and vegetables should supply the body with the required vitamins. Minerals are also important nutrients needed for building strong bones and teeth. They help with regulating our body's metabolism and keeping us properly hydrated. The mineral calcium strengthens bones and teeth and helps with nerve signal transmission. It also helps to maintain healthy blood pressure and with muscle contraction and relaxation. Iron supports red blood cells and hormone creation, while the mineral zinc boosts the immune system and wound healing. The body also needs water, which improves brain function and mood, and acts as a shock absorber and lubricant in the body. Water also flushes our toxins, carries nutrients to cells, hydrates the body, and prevents constipation. Even mild dehydration can make us feel tired and impair concentration and physical performance. In addition to drinking water, we can hydrate ourselves by eating fruits and vegetables such as spinach and watermelon. Start treating your body right. As you grab your next meal, make sure you're getting all the nutrients needed in their right proportion.
We've come to the end of our half-hour journey, but be sure to come back right here tomorrow for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you to practice proper hygiene and social distancing as you protect yourself from the coronavirus. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.